3.1 Stem and leaf plots and histograms. To start, a stem and leaf plot is a data display that organizes data based on their digits. Each value is separated into a stem, which is the leading digits, and a leaf, which is the last digit. You only have one number in the leaf category. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an example that's the amounts in pounds of hay eaten by 16 elephants in one day are listed below. Use a stem and leaf plot to display the data. So this is our data, the title amount of hay eaten by 16 elephants. And what we're going to do is we're going to want to add in one day to that. Let me grab my pencil here to do that. In one day. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to actually create the stem and leaf plot. So title we already talked about, but to do a stem and leaf plot, what you do is you look at your data and you look at the stems, which is the first two digits. So if you look at each one of these, and what we do is we categorize them. So if I write down 4, I'm going to cover with a 9. The next one I have is 450, so 450. 41 is my stem with 9. 448, I already have a 44, so I'm going to put a comma 8 afterwards. 479, I have a 410, so 41 comma 0. 446, I have a 465, so I'm going to move this up here. I have a 415, 4555, 479. I got to count for it again because each one of these is the number of times that 479 occur in the data. I have a 390, a 393, a 403, a 460, and a 409. So these are 16 data points up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count each one of these stem and leaf plot numbers, so mainly my leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Means I have all the data. Now, your key, down here at the bottom, you pick any one of these numbers. I'm just going to pick 4, 6, bar for the stem leaf plot distinction, 0, says that equals 460 pounds. Now the difference over here, this key is going to be still the same, and I just like to copy it over. When we first did this, we just did an unordered leaf plot based on our data of how it is. What we do now is we take this number and we put it in order. So when we do that, we're going to put it in actual numerical order, which is starting with the lowest value. So this lowest value is 39. So 390, 3, and I also have to organize my leaves. Next one is 40, 3, 9. So I've done this and this. What I'm going to do now is the 41. So 41, I can't start with a 9, so I'm going to start with 0, 5, 9 because it is organized. Next I'm going to have 44, 6, 8, 9, 45, 0, 5, 46, 0, 5, and then 47, 9, 9. What I'm going to do is I'm going to count these again, make sure I got 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Make sure that you have your title written above each stem leaf plot. Now looking at this information, if an elephant eats about 460 pounds of hay, so 460 pounds of hay, which is in this lower part, how does this amount compare to the amounts of the example above? So 460 is on the lower half of the information, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the median is here. Your average, if I took these values and averaged them out, took all the numbers, add them up, and divided by 16, that would fall. So your assumption here, this will fall in the upper percent. percentile, or whatever assumption that you have. That would be that this animal eats a lot compared to the 16 elephants that were analyzed. So the next thing that we have is on the back side of your notes, the frequency. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this data that we just did, like with the elephants. We're going to do it with Major League Baseball tickets, but what we're going to do is looking at it in a different representation. So the frequency is the number of data values in the interval, meaning you're going to create your intervals. Frequency table is the type of display that groups data into intervals to show the frequencies, meaning how often does something occur. So the example that we have here, this one is one I already worked out, but I'm going to work it out with you, is the average ticket prices rounded to the nearest dollar charged by Major League Baseball teams in a recent year are listed below. Make a frequency table for the data. So first thing I did is I counted all the tickets. There are 30 ticket prices. And then I found the largest, so the largest number is 24 and the smallest number is 8. So, looking over here on a clean sheet, once again you have 30 tickets. Okay. What I have done is I've created a table for you. So this has 6 spots. So we need to choose the intervals of equal size for the data. It depends on how you want to do it. You want to just put the data in equal intervals. You don't want to do it once. You can, but the number of times counting each time one frequency happens, when you put that into a histogram, it's going to take a lot of information. So what I do is I take the range. Now to find the range of data, you got to figure out what is the difference between your start and your end value. So if I start at 24 and as my biggest, so this is my largest, and I take that minus the small, which is 8, 24 minus 8 is 16. Now, I have 6 spots, so if I take that and divide by 6, I'm looking at roughly around I want to say it's 7 because I did 17 earlier. Let's double check. Yep, roughly about 2.6 repeating, which is 2.7. So what I want to do is I want to do every 3 prices. So what I do is I start with the smallest value. So the smallest value is 8, and then I count to 24. So what it means, this number here, this range, means how many numbers are going to occur in a range. So 8, 9, 10 would be 3 spots. So 8 through 10. And then what you do is you add 3 to this number here, and then add 3 to this number, and you'll get your range. So the next one is 14 through 17. 16. 17 plus to 19, 20 to 22, 23 to 25. Now, this range number ends. You can put 24, that's fine because that's your last point, but I usually just do what I end on with 25. So now comes the number of tallies. How many times do these numbers occur in the upper set? So what I like to do is I like to do some highlighting, color coding, make marks, whatever to make it easy so I don't mess up. So because I have 6 intervals, I'm going to highlight my intervals. So 8, 9, and 10. So every time I see an 8, 9, 10 up here, I'm going to highlight it. So 8, 10, 10, 9. Okay, let's see. Jump down here, 23 through 25. That's a yellow. 23, 24. And these colors will come back later on. Let's do the next one, 11 through 13. So 11, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 13, 13. There's an 11 there. And I don't see any up above. So the next interval I'm going to pick is going to be 14 through 16. 14 through 16. There's a 15. There's a 16. there's a 14, there's a 15, there's a 14. Let's go 17 through 19. I'm going to do that as pink. 17, 18, 17, 17, 17, 19, 19, and then last but not least 20 through 22. So 20 through 22, I got a 20, a 20, and a 20. When you color code this, it makes it a lot easier because you only have to find the values once, and then you only have to count how many times that number occurs. So purples or yellows. Yellows, there's 1, 2 yellows, so I 1, 2. Purples, there's 3. Pinks, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blues, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So tally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then oranges, I have 4. So going back to that, all we do is we count how many times it occurs. So I have a 4, a 9, a 5, a 7, a 3, and a 2. Tally marks, just make sure you understand what's the difference between 1 tally versus 5 tallies and everything else. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the histogram, and the histogram displays the data. So when we do a histogram, we're going to display the data from the frequency table. So make a histogram using the frequency table in example 2, then make a conclusion about the data. So when you do this, I'm going to walk you through this as a brand new. So first and foremost, you're going to show the intervals on the frequency table on the horizontal axis, which is your x, and then you're going to show the frequency on the vertical axis, which is your y, and you're going to draw a bar to represent the frequencies, or the frequency in which something occurs for each interval, and then give the histogram a title. Now with this, our intervals are going to be kind of hard to see, so this answer here is going to be down here and written out, and we're going to go from there. For that answer here, when we get there, I'm going to write my intervals here very, very small, and when I do this, I'm going to divide this in half to get 1, and then 2, 3, 2, 3, and I don't like the placement of this one roughly for 6. So just try to evenly distribute it out as much as you can. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the numbers down here. I'm going to go 8 through 10, 11 through 13, 14 through 16, 17 through 19, 20 through 22, 23 through 25, and then all I have to do is tell how many times that these occur. So starting with the orange, I have 4 frequencies up above, so I'm going to come here to 4. I'm going to draw a line over and make a bar. For 11 through 13, that's my green, so I'm going to go up to 9. So I'm going to draw up to 9. Come over, draw it down, and I'm going to shade that in. And once again, I'm using colors from up above that match, so it's a little bit easier to do this. 14 through 16 was blue. So 14 through 16 is blue, and I had 5 of those, so I'm going to come to 5 and draw a bar there, color that in. 17 through 19 is pink, so that frequencies was 7, so I got to go up 2, over, and down. (20 through 22 is purple, and that was 3, so come down. And then 23 through 25 is yellow, and that's 2 times. So there's your histogram. Okay. Now with that, from the histogram about what percentage of teams charge 20 tickets or more. So $20 or more, 20 is in here, there's 5 teams, so 5 divided by the total number of 30 equals 1/6, and my calculator comes out to be 0.16 repeating, which is roughly 16.6%. So homework wise, I'm going to have a quizzes for you, but you are also going to need to do these problems here. Make sure that you have all your notes written down, and if you need to color code, you got stuff to color code. I'm sorry that you guys will have to do this one on your own, but it's a really basic situation. You're just really counting your data and then putting it in locations.